Hi guys, in this lesson we're going to look at stacking up our animation with animation layers and also how we can start to animate images that maybe need some white space removed or their background removed, and I'll show you how to do that within PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm going to start off by showing you how to layer up animation for this chiller title. The first thing I was thinking to have this do is just a nice little entrance effect that I found called Spiral In. Okay, so I'll select that. And at the moment, if I click play, you can see that zooms in really quickly. Now, this is sort of be a creepy sort of build-up suspense type thing. So the first thing I want to do is increase the duration of this. I'll choose something about 5 seconds. Okay, and then if I preview this again, you can see it comes in much more slowly this time. Great. Now, what I actually want these words to look like is that they're sort of connected together like in some sort of a bone structure or like a skeleton. So if I double click this animation, it brings up the options for that animation, and if I scroll over, I actually have the option to animate the text instead of all at once. I want it to do them by letter. Okay, now if I choose by letter, I also have this new option to add a delay between letters, and I want to string this together fairly tightly, so I'll just use something like a 2% delay, and we can have a look at what that looks like. Great. And now the next thing that I want to add in is another animation on top of that. How do I do that? Well, first off, I need to select my text layer. And once I have that selected, I need to select Add Animation. Okay, because if you select one of these, it's just going to override what you've just done. And I'm going to choose an emphasis, which is this wave here. Sort of eerie. Okay. And now the way I need to get animations to work together is to have this second animation that I have selected. And if I come up to the top, I can start it either with the previous or after the previous. In this case, I'm going to start it after the previous because I want the text to fly in and then do the wave. Okay, and since that was also fairly fast, I'm just going to change the duration of this somewhat as well. Okay, and now we can preview that and have a look. Nice. And the very last thing I'm going to add on is sort of a bold flash onto these letters. So the letters look like they're beating like a heart. And I actually want to set that up so that goes through the entire slide. Okay, so selecting my text again, add animation, and this time I'm going to use another emphasis, a bold flash. Okay, this time I want it to occur with the previous because I want it to go with my wave, and I want it to remain through the entire thing. So if I double click my animation, I have the option under timing to do repeat, and I'm going to select repeat it until the end of the slide. So as long as you're on this slide, that text is bold and it's flashing. Okay, and we'll have a look at what that looks like now. Okay, and you'll see that my text is bold flashing and sort of beating, and that's just going to keep doing that until I change my slide. Alright, very nice. Okay, the next thing we're going to look at is how we can start to animate images, which is just exactly the same. However, sometimes we have problems with images where we have unwanted parts of that, and I'm going to show you how to remove those. Okay, so I have my two images here, and I'm actually going to prepare this red hand for use in my chiller slide. Okay, and what both of these images have in common, you can probably see, is they have this unwanted space around them, and this really looks a bit tacky, and you want to get rid of this and avoid it if you can. Okay, there are two different ways of doing this. The first, or more simple way, I'll show you on the Rubik's Cube. So we select our element, under the picture tools, click Format, and in this ribbon we need to go to Color, and at the very bottom we have an option to set transparent color. Okay, and we want to make this white transparent, so we just left click on the white area, and you can see that gets rid of it. Okay, very nice. In a more detailed image like this red hand, just doing a simple color key is still going to leave you with some background in place. And so instead, again, selecting our image, and under the Format ribbon, we want to select the option Remove Background. Okay, and then you're going to have this pink space, and what this means is that anything that's in color, for instance the palm of this hand, is going to be kept, and anything that is shaded pink, purple is going to be discarded. So what we need to first do is, on this ribbon, mark areas to keep. So we can click that and just draw in the lines of the areas that you want to keep. In this case, just the fingers. Alright, there we go. And all of our background, which is the purple part here, we want to discard. Okay, so when we're happy with this, just click the green tick, keep changes, and there you can see now we have a removed background for both of these images, but through a slightly different method. Okay, I'm actually going to reuse this image and bring this back into my chiller slide, scale it down some, and our animation for images is exactly the same. I'm going to add 2 animations on this. I'm going to go animations. For the entrance, I'm going to have it do a zoom. Great. And then I'm going to add an animation, and I'm going to have it do a theta as well when it comes in. Okay? But I want this to be with my previous one. So I'm going to select the theta and select it to with previous. Okay? And this hand is going to come in whenever I click, because at the moment, the first animation or the entrance for the hand is set to on click by default. Okay, I'll have a look what this looks like now. So my title will come in, and there it goes, it starts flashing, and there goes my hand as well. Okay, and if you needed to add a sound effect to any of these animations, you can just hit the, or double click I should say, on the animation that you want to add the sound to, and under the enhancements you have options to add a sound, and of course you can choose any sound you would like. Alright, so those are 2 ways to make your images look better and remove that unwanted area, and you can do that remove background tool with a variety of images, and also looking at ways we can animate things and layer on that animation, and then get into the options as well and be able to change how something is animated, whether it be by character, or whether we're changing the delay, or setting it to loop so we can create loops for our animation. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.